Yo, what's going on, my peoples? My peoples, my peoples, my peoples. How are you? How are you? How are you? I hope that you have had a wonderful week, and I hope that you have taken the time this week to make sure that you are being your best, doing your best, so that you can have the very, very, very best. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Grow with Dezi, and I'm so glad that you are here. What's up, Mitchie? How are you, girl? How are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for joining. Y'all share some love. Please say hello. Let me know where you're joining me from in the world. I am so keeping it very casual. Very, very casual. I hope that you guys have had a wonderful week. I've been, starting late because at 7 o'clock, I am in my Girl Ask Me Anything community, and I've been talking about tech and sharing some of the different tech tools that I use to bring my business online. And so after that, I want to be consistent, and I want to make sure that in my consistency of showing up here every single week to inspire you, to mentor you, to teach you, and to just help you to live principled, centered, principle-focused leadership in your entire life. So glad that you're joining me tonight. I know that's late for some of y'all on the East Coast, and I love you for hanging out with me. And so say hello. Let me know where you are joining me from. I see Brian Neal. Hey, hello. I see Bernard, my cousin. Hello, beautiful Ramona. Thank you so much for joining me, babe. I appreciate you jumping on with me tonight. Tonight we're talking about master planning. We're talking about the master planning. Can you get excited? So at the beginning of 2019, everyone went through this big old thing, right? Where we had magazines and markers and glue and all kinds of stuff, and people were out there making vision boards. I mean, I've got mine like right over there on the other side of this monitor on the wall. Made a vision board to remind myself of the things that I wanted to accomplish this year. And in creating that picture, that vision, I set up some plans. For myself. I set up plans that were going to include, all the things that are important to me. My value words, things like, growth and persistence and resiliency and family and, just things that I value that are a part of me to my core. And in that, I wanted to make sure that as I planned for what I wanted, that I put it before God and made sure that I told Him, shared with Him. How about that? Not that I told God anything, but that I shared with Him, okay, you know what, Lord, these are the things that I believe that you've put on my heart, to do. And these are some of the goals and the dreams that I have for myself. And I would really love if you would bless me indeed. For those of you that have heard the prayer of Jabez, oh Lord, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. And it goes on. I don't remember all of it right now, but that was my thing. I wanted to, put it down on paper. And I learned that, the faintest ink is better than the most retentive memory. So by the physical act of writing down what I wanted And then I'm a visual person, so I had to have, beautiful pictures of and reminders of what's important to me, and the things, the goals that are bigger than what I believe that I could. Yes, I'm going to say it like that. Bigger than what I thought that I could achieve right now, but they were part of what I really wanted, right? So put all that stuff on paper, and then I went to God and said, hey, can you bless me indeed? Can you bless me indeed? There's so many people today who lack a really strong purpose. Now, I'm not talking about the job that you do. I'm not talking about how good you are at the job that you do. But there are so many people who lack a purpose. Purpose being knowing within the depths of your soul what you were created to be and to do. And there was a study that was done, and in the study, the young lady that did the study, she said that she was completely appalled at the aimlessness, like the lack of intention that people had with getting through life. Like, most people don't have an aim in life. There's a lot of people that get up, get dressed, have the same cup of coffee, go to work, come home, have dinner, maybe exercise, sit down and watch TV, go to bed, and start the cycle all over again. And it ends up being done for years and years and years on end with no aim or no point to their lives. Oh, come on, Mitchie. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, girlfriend. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, say, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. That is the prayer. That is the prayer. Thank you for sharing that, honey. I appreciate it. But, there are people that, like, that's all that they will focus on doing. Just the in and the out, the day-to-day, lack of intentionality, And so here's what else she said in her study. She said 50% of people don't pay any attention to where they're going. 40% are undecided and will go in any direction, so they swerve. They just kind of swerve. They dodge here or they dodge there. They're just kind of swerving everywhere. 40%. Only 10% know what they want. And even all of the 10% don't go toward it. So 50% don't know. 40% they swerve, right? And 10% know what they want, but and some of them won't even go towards it. So why is that? Why is that? Hey, Mary. Mary's watching from Arizona. Thank you so much, hon. I'm so glad that you are hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate that. Bernard is joining me from Texas. So we got Arizona, Texas. We got Florida in the house as well. I am so excited. Thank you guys for jumping on with me tonight. But, I'm asking you this question, like, why is it that people don't have a focus or an aim for their life? Why do you think that is? I think, when I went to school, before I went to school, one of my goals, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be an attorney. The reason why I wanted to be an attorney was because I knew that attorneys made money, and they could fight for the rights of others. That's why I wanted to be an attorney. And I was also a creative. And I love doing creative things. And as I got older and I saw that, okay, well, you know what? It's going to take me forever. It's going to be really expensive, first of all, to go to college. And it's going to take a long time. And so what I'm used to seeing is my dad was an entrepreneur. He'd been an entrepreneur all my life. He'd had different types of business. He was in the nursing home business, so I saw him like always running a business. And so when I finally went to school, I settled for business. And I say settled because, God always has a plan that, even though we write our plans down, he always has a plan for our life. And so I went into business. And I ended up loving the business environment, the business community. But I didn't have like a laser focused goal as to what I wanted to do with business, right? And so, as life would have it, life had its way and choices had their way. And I ended up, working for a lot of different companies, doing many different things, and not really focused in on a particular goal, not really with a particular aim. The aim was to survive, if truth be told. But when it comes to goals, as I'm learning now in this best time of my life, when it comes to goals, they really give you something to focus on. And whatever you focus your attention on, that's what grows. And so if the goals are something that are positive and that, goal, dream, vision, it's really important that we have that for our lives. But goals, they give you something concrete to focus on, and there's positive impacts that take place when you take action on those goals. They help us to focus our attention on that particular purpose. And so whatever it is that we're focusing on, that is what is going to grow, and that is what we are going to accomplish. And whenever we accomplish our goals, it feels really great. Hey Donna, hey Audrey, thanks for joining me tonight, ladies. There was a poet by the name of Ralph Waldo Emerson, and what he said was that the world makes the way for the man who knows where he is going. So I'll put my Deziism on there. The world makes a way for the man or woman who knows where he or she is going. When you focus on with laser intention, the world will make a way for you. But here's the thing. No matter the most well laid out plans that you possibly can have for yourself, if you're not in alignment with your Creator and you are out of balance or out of whack in any area of your life, you'll find yourself in this place of hustling and grinding and in the negative sense of those, in the negative sense of those words, hustling and grinding, trying to find your way because you weren't in alignment with your Creator. They talk about, we learn about this in project management, or goal setting, that you want to have SMART goals, that they're very specific and they're measurable and they're achievable. And they have, what's the R stand for? I forgot. The T stands for time sensitive, right? The realistic, I think that's the R. I think the realistic is the R. Anyway, someone correct me because I forgot. But you want to have, SMART goals, and you want to make sure that, all those components are in place. But here's the thing, right? If you seek God, seek the Creator when you're setting your goals, and you lay them before Him, and you ask him, like, does this line up with your will for my life? Or I'm not sure what my purpose is, so here's what I'm putting down and here's what I'm putting before you. So can you please just show me? And then you take action towards those things that he's put inside of your heart and inside of your mind, and they line up, you will have that much more success. I call it the master planning. The master planning, because you involve the master in your planning. And when we involve the master in our planning, we win. Even when things don't go the way that we want them to go, or, the goal doesn't change. The time may change, but the goal doesn't change. And so I want to encourage you. This is going to be a really short live tonight. I want to encourage you that if you have a goal, a dream, or a vision, number one, I want you to write it down, okay? I want you to physically take a pen and, find a journal or something that if you don't journal, I'd really encourage you to do that. But, get a pen and a piece of paper and begin to write down what it is that you want. Write down who it is that you want to be. If you want to be more persistent. My goal is to be more persistent. If you want to be more faithful, my goal is to be more faithful. You can, and if you want to affirm yourself, you can say, I am persistent after the goal that I've set for myself. I am faithful to walking in and taking the action steps that I need to achieve that goal. If you want to, spend more time reading, leaders are readers. Those who succeed, those who read win. There's so much information out there, and you have to be able to have a focus. Not on a bunch of things, right? But like a focus on the one thing. What is the one thing that you want to achieve? And I say this not only to you, I say this to myself as well, because, it's really easy to get caught up in doing a lot of stuff. It's easy, but it takes work to focus on the one thing. So what's your one thing? What is the one goal that you want to achieve? We are almost in June. Like half of 2019 is almost done. Today is the 23rd, 24th, 23rd. 8 more days and we're out of May, and then the second half of 2019 is here. I know that I have not yet accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish all in, this first, going into the second quarter of the year. And so I have to recalibrate. The goal doesn't change, but I'm putting it before the master. Am I planning before the master and asking, saying, what, God, I want to add value to people. That is what I want to do. And here is how I believe that I can do it. Does this line up with who you've created me to be? And if it's a yes, then full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. So write it down. Make it personal. Make it very personal. Not what your mama wanted, not what your wife wants, not what your husband wants, not what your kids want, not what you've heard other people, say that you should do. But what is it that you want? Make it very, very personal. So you got to write it down and you got to make it personal. The next thing that you want to do is you want to make it specific. If you don't have a specific goal, you will aim at anything. If there is no target, you'll be shooting everywhere. Got to make it specific. What's the one thing? The next thing that I want you to do is, make it achievable. A couple of years ago, when we did the second Girl Ask Me Anything conference, a girlfriend of mine was at my house, and we had gone through this thing called the 90-day year. And it was very powerful. And what it is that if you are anything like me, who is a recovering perfectionist and a recovering procrastinator. And procrastination means that you have determined that it's just not that important to you. So she was at my house. We were watching this training session, and she was like, "Okay, well, what do you want to accomplish in the next 90 days?" And I threw out there, "I want to have a second women's conference." She said, "Okay, what's the date?" And I was like, "Wait, hold on a second. Hold on, Nellie. Wait, what? What's the date?" And she became my accountability partner, and we set the date. So we made it very specific. And how are we going to make it achievable? From that point, we set up, okay, what's the plan of attack? What are the high-level goals? If you look down at 30,000 feet, what does this look like to you? And I began to share with her what I wanted it to look like. And, all of the, how would we track it? And we made it measurable. What would a win look like? What would I determine to be a win? Besides just having the conference, like what would be a win? And I will tell you what, the second conference that we had, it's a short story, but it has changed my life profoundly. When we did the first Girl Ask Me Anything conference, I had asked my best friend, Dr. Sally Singleton, to come and speak. And the conference was going to be on a Saturday night, and we had everything set up, and I got a call from Sally on Friday, and she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And so she couldn't come because she called me Thursday. I'm sorry. She called me Thursday before and told me that on the next day, that Friday, that she was going to have surgery, and the conference was that following Saturday. And so that was just like a whirlwind of stuff that had happened at the first time, but she kept encouraging me to do it, and so we did it. So then here we are, the second time around, and this time for the second conference, I was able to have her come and speak, and she was in a different place in life, and her story was just so incredibly powerful, and she got to share her story and the power of having plans and the Lord directing her steps, even if the steps don't look the way that you believe or that she thought that they should look. And it was so incredibly powerful because, I knew that there was a need, and I knew that I needed her to come back because there were so many women that wanted to know, how they could go from fear to freedom. And so she was living through her fear to freedom story. But this all started because my girlfriend and I were watching this thing, and she said, "What do you want to do, Desiree?" And what had been birthed inside of me had been put before God, and the master planning began. So it's really important that when we set goals, we seek God when setting the goals. Because you never know whose life you can change by you stepping out of your shell and going for the goal, the dream, the vision that's been given to you. The last thing that you want to do is, beyond making it measurable, is that you want to make it time sensitive. You want to make it time sensitive. It has to have an end date. It has to have a deadline to meet. Nothing changes. I mean, I don't think that everyone wants to everyone has goals, and I say everyone loosely, but people have goals and dreams and aspirations for their lives, and they stop 3 feet from gold. They stop right before they're getting ready to hit their stride. And I think that sometimes that comes with not including the Creator in your planning and making sure that what it is that you're doing is going to serve and add value to other people. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Don't be aimless. Don't be aimless. Seek the Creator in your planning sessions. Seek the Master as you plan. Big plans, medium plans, little plans. But if you line yourself up and make sure that you're in alignment, you can achieve your wildest dreams. I believe that. I believe it. And as I am believing it, I'm going to stand in it, and I encourage you to stand in it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Hey Marvin, thanks for joining me. The master planning. Include the master in your planning and just watch how he will allow for the great to happen and the for your good to happen. And you can achieve the goals that he's given you the desire in your heart for. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me and growing with me. This is something that I am living out day to day in my journey as an entrepreneur and building my business. And so I want to encourage you. Seek God when you're setting your goals and watch how things work out just for your good. So I want to thank you for joining me tonight, you guys, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you again next Thursday. All right. Talk to you soon.